Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Benue leaders meet President Muhammadu Buhari over killings by herdsmen, insist they have no laid land to set up colonies for the herders. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo denies ignoring warnings on herdsman attack, says comment linked to Governor Samuel Ortom is false and misleading. Nigerians today remember their fallen heroes as the country commemorates the 2018 Armed Forces Remembrance Day, more than 50 years after the Civil War. And African leaders protest President Donald Trump's derogatory comment about Africans. Now, here's a quick reminder to you that for more on our top stories and others, please visit our website, channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. And log on to m.channelstv.com to watch us on your mobile device, or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. The Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have access to the Eyewitness feature, with which you can share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu, and then follow the instructions. Now let's take another look at our Armed Forces Remembrance Day as we commemorate that day today. I'm now being joined from Abuja by a retired military officer and security consultant, Major General Cecil Esekaigbe. Thanks a lot for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I know it's an emotional day for you. It tends to be for servicemen like yourself, feeling a sense of pride, and others celebrated with you as well. Everybody wears the emblems at this time of year. But how significant is this day for the average man in service?
Thank you very much. This actually started in 1918 after the armistice of the First World War, properly referred to as 11-11-11. That is 11 hour, 11 day, and 11th month of 1918, after the end of the First World War. So it's a military tradition, very solemn in the military global system, where you remember all the fallen heroes, those who have contributed to keeping their country safe, those who have fought, for the unification of the country, those who gave their today for tomorrow for the city's reign. So it is very highly emotional, and it's a very deep reminiscence of our contribution to nation building.
And when we look at the contribution to nation building, as you've said, in the last few years particularly, we've seen the security forces drafted to various states to respond to the insurgency, among other threats. How stretched would you say the armed forces are at this time? The
armed forces are very, very overstretched. First and foremost, the armed forces' main responsibility is the defense of our territorial integrity. But the internal security challenges, which are supposed to be on the purview of the Nigerian police force, have found itself into the Nigerian armed forces. So the armed forces are battling with keeping the country together. They're also battling preparation for deterring external aggression when they arise. So it's a very, very Herculean task, and it's a very, very difficult period for the armed forces. They need the prayers, they need the support of the National Assembly, they need the support of the executive in proper funding and adequate preparation for taking care of exigencies and emergencies.
I know you talk about those who are sent to trouble spots. You see them in different operations. You see Python dance, and then you see them in IDP camps as well. In terms of the living conditions or the working conditions of the average serviceman, on a day like this, is it something that still gives you a sense of pride, or how do you just see it?
Well, it's a very, very difficult scenario to describe, because the pride of a military man is to give his best to defend his country. And what matters is, after the death of that military person in service, he is to be quickly taken care of. So what are those measures that are put in place to properly address the shortcomings that follow the attendant death of those who have laid their lives for this country? For instance, globally, like in the United States of America, you have what they call the Gold Star. In the United Kingdom, you have the Elizabeth Cross. In Canada, you have the Memorial Cross. In Nigeria here, we need to bring some of these things forward for those who are living behind, who lost these loved ones, so that it will become a thing of pride. As a matter of fact, they should be celebrated. It does not just end in parade. In fact, there should be observance of many silence in various ministries. You don't have to declare them on holidays, because this is a very, very different and very, very calculated attempt to remember those who laid their lives for this country. So with this deep reflection of the past and this laying of wreath and all that is to commemorate the unknown soldier that left from nowhere to nowhere, but only known by God. So it has been a milestone in commemorating those officers and men who lost their life in defense of their country. So the military need to be supported. The military need to be celebrated. Our venture into governance has kind of dampened the things the military is supposed to get, the promotion of the military to high heavens. We'll be contributing right from the First and Second World Wars, the Civil War, and all the internal security challenges that we're having today. So this is the high time to continue to give what the military needs to do their task.
I mean, and finally now, my question to you, on an emotional day like this, even from the footage that we had, we see some of the widows of those who have been taken away from them. What do you think can be done, even if one is not honoring those who are left behind and they're not being treated right? What do you think should be done for the families of officers? You do hear reports that they're not actually well looked after. What's your advice, finally?
Well, the military has a very, very detailed program of taking care of the people that are left behind by the dead officers and men. We have various schemes, insurance, we have benevolent funds, we have all sorts of things that we use to cushion the effects of these pains. But they will never be enough, but the government needs to do a lot, maybe to expand the horizon and make it very comfortable for those who are left behind. Because if you have a very, very sound welfare system, if you have a very, very sound package that, yes, if I go to war and die, my family will be taken care of, it's a moral booster and it's a tonic that the military need to continue to perform their duties.
All right, Security Consultant Major General Cecil Isekaigbe, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us, and also to say thanks for what you do when you were in service and even right now as well on a day like this. Thank you. We move on now, and terrorist group Boko Haram has released a new video purportedly showing some of the abducted Chibok schoolgirls still in captivity with the terrorists. In the video released today, a group of about 12 girls are seen, with some of them appealing to government to rescue them. The girls, about 270 of them, were kidnapped from their school in Chibok, a town in Borno State, in April 2014. Some of them managed to escape from captivity, while the military has also rescued many of them. More than 100 of the girls are still believed to be held by the terrorists.
Allah ya halice mu don mu bauta masa, ku kuna bautawa kasa? Allah sarki jahilci ne, ku tuba ku bauta mahalicinku, har kuna ce za ku zo ku kwashe mu, ina za ku tafi da mu?
Ga mu nan a hannun Boko Haram a wannan lokaci, sun zo ne su ɗauka magana ta bakin mu yau. Tun lokacin da muka shiga hannunsu har zuwa ga yau muna nan lafiya. Amma muna kawo kuka mu zuwa gabanka, shugaban kasa da ma'aikata. Muna roko ne a wannan lokaci ku dube mu da idon tausayi, ku taimake mu a wannan yanayi da muka samu kanmu. Mu 'yan kasa ne, mu 'yan Najeriya. Muna roko a wannan lokaci ku ji tausayinmu kamar yadda kuka faɗa kwanan baya, za ku karɓe mu a hannunsu. To, ga munan mu guda 10 mata, muna nan muna zaune a wuri ɗaya.
A new video purportedly showing some of the abducted Chibok schoolgirls still in captivity with the terrorists. We cross over to Abuja now, and here's Gloria Umezuke. Gloria.
Hello, Jamal. Well, 2 persons have been confirmed dead following the inferno that engulfed the Second Coming gas station located on CMD Road in Magodo area of Lagos in the early hours of today. The station was said to have gone up in flames while a gas truck was discharging its content, with the fire spreading to other facilities in the neighborhood shortly after. Our correspondent, Kayode Okekiolu, reports.
What began as a normal busy Monday morning in the Magodo area of Lagos State soon turned chaotic at about 7:34 a.m. when multiple explosions rocked a gas plant in the area. According to preliminary investigations, there was gas leakage from one of the trucks in the premises. The sudden explosion occurred when a car with a faulty exhaust pipe passed in front of the company. The men of the Lagos State Fire Service are the first responders, as they are seen battling the inferno head-on. Also responding to the emergency are men of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, Lagos State Ambulance Service, LASAMBUS, Lagos State Rapid Response Squad, as well as the FRSC. Their timely intervention got the fire under control. However, there are fears over the casualty figures.
Initially, when we arrived here, we responded promptly and there was no outbreak of fire. We were inside the tank premises, but unfortunately, when a vehicle was passing along, you see, this is the reason why we must listen and take into directives and instructions at every scene of emergency. A vehicle was passing along, it was through the exhaust pipe that caused the explosion. And that was how the fire started.
On the part of the police, you can see that we have been able to control the crowd. They have been put afar. And then we have ensured that we have evacuated all the residents, everybody out of this place. Because as far as we are concerned, this place is still a disaster area until this thing ends finally.
Meanwhile, by the perimeter fence of the gas station, we sight two visibly burnt bodies lying motionless. They are said to be people who take refuge along the fence after dark. Emergency officials declined to give the exact figure of casualties.
At the moment, we are not sure anybody is still trapped. Like I said, we're still doing that. Yes, there are issues of casualties, but since it's an ongoing, operation, we will not give casualty figures now. We will rather wait until after the operation is concluded, so that what we give you will be the correct figures.
This popular gas station, situated in a residential estate, has been the destination for both private and commercial users of gas around the area for some time. And concerns as to its location and the safety of the neighborhood where it is sited has just been raised to a higher level. Kayode Okekiolu reporting for Channels Television News.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is asking a federal high court sitting in Lagos to grant an ex parte order of interim forfeiture of the sum of $3.6 million domiciled in a commercial bank and traced to the wife of the former president, Mrs. Patience Jonathan. An investigation officer with the EFCC, Mr. Huleji Tukura, told the court that the account was opened while Mrs. Jonathan served as the permanent secretary of the Bayelsa state government. The EFCC is also seeking the interim forfeiture of other huge sums of money traced to 6 other commercial banks and said to have links with Mrs. Jonathan. Justice Mojisola Olaturegun refused to listen to Mr. Michael Zekome, who led a group of other lawyers to defend Mrs. Jonathan and others accused in the matter. The court agreed with the EFCC that application was ex parte and, as such, they had no right of audience. But the lawyers argued that the application was an abuse of court process, as the EFCC had filed about 4 cases on the same subject matter before other judges of the court. The judge has adjourned further proceedings till January the 23rd, 2018. When the news at 10 returns, House of Representatives Committee on Telecoms holds public hearing on the sale of 9 Mobile. That's after the break. Please join us again.